So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're gonna take a look at a Bladestorm build for Ashe. Now I have two different versions of this build. The first one is in my opinion a lot more fun, and the second one is much stronger. Now the first version of this build, which we're gonna take a look at right now, also requires a no Forma even if you want to max out all the mods, and that's amazing. So we're gonna start off by adding Steel Charge into the aura slot, and this straight up increases the damage of Bladestorm. It also adds 18 additional mod capacity, which is actually what allows us to do this build with 0 Forma. After that, we're gonna add Transient Fortitude and Intensify for power strength. Then we're gonna add Streamline and Fleeting Expertise for power efficiency. Now, you don't need to max these two mods out because power efficiency caps out at 175%. After that, we're gonna add Stretch, and this straight up increases the range of Bladestorm. It allows you to cast it on enemies that are farther away from you, and it also increases the distance you will jump during Bladestorm. Now for the defensive mods, I'm using Vitality and Vigor because it works with Ashe so very well. Ashe has a ton of health, and this adds to your survivability. Now the combination of stats on Ashe also makes him a perfect candidate for Rage. You have a lot of health, and you have low shields and armor, so you take a lot of damage to health, which is converted to a lot of energy, so Rage just makes sense. And the way you play Ashe with this build is actually pretty simple. So you walk into a room, you press Bladestorm, and everybody's dead, Dave. Now what's really awesome about this build is that Bladestorm only costs 25 energy, so even if you don't have flow or primed flow, you can still pull off 6 Bladestorms in a row. And the fact that Bladestorm only costs 25 energy with this build makes this a lot of fun. You can basically spam it all the time. Now, even though I said that this is the weaker version of the build, it's not weak. This is still gonna get you through the entire solar system, and as you can actually see right now, because this is Tower 4 Exterminate, it's gonna get you through Tower 4 missions as well. So this is an incredibly powerful build that's a lot of fun to play, and it requires 0 Forma. I love it. Now, as I've said before, the second version of this build is much stronger, but in my opinion, less fun. So we're gonna start off once again by adding Steel Charge into the aura slot, and for power strength, we're gonna add Transient Fortitude, Intensify, and Blind Rage. Now, I've also added Primed Flow, but if you don't mind that you will run out of energy after just 2 Bladestorms, you can swap it out for either a defensive mod like Vigor or for a utility mod like Rage. So this is very much a personal preference. Then we're gonna add Stretch to once again increase the range of Bladestorm, and this time we're gonna add maxed out Streamline and Fleeting Expertise to offset Blind Rage. And finally, we're gonna add our defensive mod, which in this case is just Vitality. And with this build, Bladestorm does a lot of bloody damage. I wasn't able to find a mob that would survive 1 Bladestorm, and that's really awesome. But as I've said, this build is in my opinion less fun, and it all has to do with Bladestorm. So instead of costing 25 energy like with the first version, it costs 55 energy. And that changes the way you play more than you might think. So with the first build, when you see a bombard firing rockets at you, you can dodge them by simply Bladestorming. But with this build, since Bladestorm is much more expensive, you're gonna think twice before you Bladestorm, so you can't dodge as many things with it, and this makes you vulnerable, because Ashe, unlike Ashe Prime, lacks armor. But that doesn't mean this build is bad though, because it's just better for other things. So the first build is more of a brawler build and it's awesome for soloing, and this one is awesome for party play, because if you have an EV Trinity that's constantly feeding you energy, the amount of damage you can dish out with Bladestorm is ludicrous. Now, the Rising Storm augment is only good when you're going up against enemies that won't die in 1 Bladestorm, so basically just sorties or very long endless missions. So if you're not doing those, it's a waste of space. Now, there are a few more things you can do to increase the ludicrousness of your Bladestorm. So you can equip your melee weapon with Fury, True Steel, and Berserker, and this will increase the speed of Bladestorm. And both the Arcane Fury and Arcane Strike enchantments will also affect Bladestorm, so if you want to do even more damage, you can equip yourself with the Arcane Fury enchantment. And that's it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching. I apologize once again for screwing up the previous video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.